Welcome to this video, students. And in this video, we are going to learn the graph of cosine function at an advanced level. And in this question, we have y equals cosine x plus pi over 4. And we are using horizontal shift and phase shift because there is a change in the variable x. When there is a change in the variable x, there is horizontal shift or phase shift. That is the original graph. We move along x-axis and y-axis. But in the beginning, we always write these components: amplitude, period, vertical shift from the given function. See here, amplitude is always this number. So we write is equal to 4. Then period. Period of cosine is 2 pi. Basic function cosine period is 2 pi. But in case of any complicated function like this, we divide it by the coefficient of x, which is 1. And this is 2 pi. 2 pi is the x value, domain value. And then vertical shift. There is no number plus, so no up, down, so vertical shift is 0. Phase shift or horizontal shift. Phase shift and horizontal shift is always taken from this one. We put this one is equal to 0. X plus pi over 4 is equal to 0. And this give you x is equal to negative pi over 4. Okay? X equals negative pi over 4. And negative pi over 4 is what? This is the start point. Negative pi over 4, that our graph starts from negative pi over 4. In the simple function, if we have y is equal to cosine of x, its graph starts from 0 up to 2 pi. Its graph is like this for the cosine function, which is the parent function, starts from 0, because if you put this thing is equal to 0, the phase shift is 0, that it starts from 0. But in this case, angle is different. So put this one is equal to 0 and find the value of x. So this is our start point. Okay. Now, end point is what? End point is always calculated start point minus pi over 4 plus this period. Add this period to this one, 2 pi, simplify. 4 times to 8, 8 minus 1, 7 pi over 4. Okay. It means our graph starts from negative pi over 2 to 7 pi over 4. Negative means it is on negative side. So you can see over here, this is our starting point, negative pi over 4. And then end point is 7 pi over 4. Got it? Yes. Where? This one? Yeah, here, yes, I multiply. I multiply 4 with this one. 4 times 2, 8. 8 minus 1, 7. So this comes 7 pi over 4. Okay. Now we have to divide this one. Take its midpoint first. What is the midpoint of this number and this number? We write minus pi over 4 plus 7 pi over 4. Add them. 7 minus 1, 6. So 6 pi over 4. Simplify. Divide by 2, divide by 2. 3 pi over 2. Understand? So this is the midpoint. This is the midpoint of this one. And for midpoint, we divide by 2. So when you divide by 2 this one, so this will be 3 pi over 4. Got it? Add both numbers. Simplify and divide it by 2. So this will be the midpoint. So midpoint is over here, 3 pi over 4. Okay. Now, we have to find the midpoint of this interval, negative pi over 4 to 3 pi over 4. The same method we revise over here. We do what? We write negative pi over 4 plus 3 pi over 4, add them, add both numbers, 3 minus 1, 2, 2 pi over 4, this is pi over 2. We have to find midpoint. So divide everything by 2. So when you divide, they are multiplied. So this is pi over 4. So it means midpoint of this interval is pi over 4. Any question? No question. Okay. What about the next one? Same thing we do here. Write down the midpoint of this one. So we add 3 pi over 4 plus 7 pi over 4 is equal to what? 10 pi over 4? 3 plus 7, 10. Yeah, 5 pi over 2. Because this is a midpoint, so we divide by 2. So divide everywhere by 2. When you divide by 2, so this gives you 5 pi over 4. Okay. This is how we divide this line, x-axis line, for the domain values. Domain is basically negative pi over 4 to 7 pi over 4. X values are domain values, we know. Okay, great. Now, if we know this distribution, it's easy for us to graph the function. How to graph it? We look for its amplitude. And amplitude is here already decided. Amplitude is 4. So I divide it in 4 equal parts. 1 and 4. Approximately here. Okay. This is 3, 2, 1. Similarly, we can divide here. Okay. Now, the curve cosine we know. Curve cosine starts like this. The maximum value, here minimum, again maximum. And in between there are zeros. Okay. So now we can easily graph this function. I mark the points starting from 4. First point is here. Then it is 0. Then it is negative 4 under this point. Approximately point will be here. And then, no, it is starting from this one, not from 0. So it starts from 0, so point will be here. Not 0. We are not starting from 0. This graph starting from negative pi over 4. Point above this one. Here 0, negative 4, then 0, and here maximum value, which is 4. So I go approximately here. I hope it is correct. So we have these black points. Now, we have to graph this function, and for this, we join these points. I use this graph over there, this marker, this point. It should pass through the point. Okay, like this. Okay, then make a curve. Okay, no straight line, curve. And then here, this one. And now the remaining part of this one, I take up to this way. This will go as a curve. just like the curve is there. So if you can make more accurate, you erase and just make little curve there, so the graph is going to be this way. Okay, so this is the graph for y is equal to 4 cosine x plus pi over 4. Good. Any question? No. So one thing is missing. UA color is there. Black color is missing, I think, in UA color. So, okay, black, we consider this line. So this is UA color, and because this number is here, so this one is y equals 4 cosine x plus pi over 4. So this is, students, our contribution towards the National Day, which is coming soon. Okay, let's go for the next question now. And next question is, you can see y equals negative 3 cosine x minus pi over 4. Okay? What should we do first? Yes, amplitude, period, vertical shift, phase shift. We look for these things before starting the graph. Here, amplitude is negative number. So amplitude is always positive. So it is absolute. Take its absolute, and this is equal to 3. Amplitude is 3. Forget the negative sign. This negative sign we shall deal at the end. Forget in the beginning. Basically, this is the reflection. This reflects the graph. This gives the reflection of the graph about x-axis. So we ignore in the beginning this one, okay? Ignore it. Nobody likes to be ignored, but sorry, we are ignoring you. Okay, this is amplitude is 3 and vertical shift is how much? 0, because no number is added. So vertical shift is 0. Phase shift, and first we write the period. Period is 2 pi over this coefficient. Take this coefficient down 1. So period is 2 pi. Periods mean length of the graph along x-axis. Okay, now phase shift. For the phase shift, we put this total angle is equal to 0. X minus pi over 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to pi over 2. What this phase shift tells us? Phase shift tells us where from graph starts. So graph is starting from where? Yes. This pi over 2 is the starting point. And then we have end point. End point is always starting point plus the period of the function. And you can see here, period of the function is 2 pi. Okay? Simplify it. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1. 5 pi over 2. 5 pi over 2. So this gives us the end point. Pi over 2 is a positive. It will start from the positive direction, but in the previous question, it was starting from the negative. So I write over here pi over 2. Then end point I write over here, which is 5 pi over 2. We are interested, it's midpoint now. And you're expert in finding midpoints. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 pi over 2. This is 3 pi, and for the midpoint divided by 2, so this comes 3 pi over 2. Okay? This is the midpoint of this function, the domain basically. Now, again midpoint we have to find here. So help me in finding the midpoint of this one. How to find? Exactly. 1 plus 3, 4 pi over 2. 4 pi over 2 means 2 pi, and divided by 2. Divided by 2 means pi. So this number is going to be pi. This is pi. Very good. What about the next step? We need the midpoint of this interval now. Okay, I put with green this point. Okay, so 5 plus 3, 8 pi by 2, which is 4 pi. Okay, for the midpoint, we divide this by 2, so this gives us 2 pi. So this point is going to be 2 pi. I write with green. Okay, students, any question? Now let's make a UA flag. Okay, black, then make red, 3 colors we show here, then green. Okay, and we add one more color over here to make it colorful, the blue one. What a great idea, student, you gave me. Okay, so this is how we divide the line in 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. After dividing x-axis like this, we have to graph the given function. Look for the function. Whatever curve be here, this is cosine or sine. Our method is same. We look for the curve. Which curve is this one, sine or cosine? It is a cosine curve. And cosine graph starts from the maximum value. So cosine curve we know. So maximum value means our graph is going to start from this point. This is a starting point. So take the maximum value. Maximum value, then you know 0. And then the minimum value, which comes exactly under the midpoint here. And after this, we take again 0. And then the maximum value, which is approximately here. Yes. Great. Okay, now we graph it. Okay. For the graphing, this just like this. This curve is here. The point. This point is there. And the other point is beautiful. Huh? This looks nice. So this is our graph for the function y is equal to 3 cosine x minus pi over 2. But there is a minus sign. Minus sign is there. Negative sign is there. It's an incomplete graph yet. So negative means reflection. So this graph, we shall reflect it about x-axis. This graph is 3 cosine of x minus pi over 2 for one complete period. For the reflection, we shall take reflection about x-axis. X-axis will act as a mirror. So mirror image of this we take. Okay, how should we do it? Yes, can somebody tell me? No. Yes? Exactly. We take this point, look at, take the image of this one. This image, this point will come here. Its image from this at the same distance. 3, and then this point stays here on the image, on the mirror it is. The minimum point will go here at the top. Okay, great. And then these zeros will stay on x-axis. And the image of this point will come almost here. Okay, great. Now graph it. We join it, these points, and this graph is there. Then this point here and this one. You see, this is graph for cosine function. Because of negative, we are taking its mirror image. How can we know in the exam this is a graph for this one? We should write down here. We can write y equals minus 3 cosine of x minus pi over 2. Okay? Understand it or not? There is no vertical shift, so this is our final answer. If you have any question, you can ask, please. Okay, thank you.